Well, hello there, Aries. How are you? It's always so good to see you. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we're just checking in with Spirit to see what you need to know at this time. So this is good for the next week to 10 days. So let's jump into it. Let's see what's on the horizon for you. Sandpiper Spirit, be playful. It's the number 51, and 5 plus 1 equals 6. So this is the energy of really getting back into your heart space and doing more activities that your heart truly enjoys doing, right? Allowing yourself to have a little bit of fun, not taking life maybe quite so seriously, and making sure that you're scheduling a little bit of fun time every single day. So let's see what else we have. Yeah, grounding, go deep, explore your roots, spending more time out in nature. Both of these are about nature, perhaps being near water. Allowing yourself a time to breathe. Time to breathe. That is the energy here. Allowing yourself to recognize that maybe you've been working super hard, right? This is also the energy of being stuck up in your head a little bit, trying to overthink, overanalyze your life or a situation in your life. Allowing yourself to get away from the stress and strain of everyday life, right? And allowing yourself just take an hour off, take an afternoon off, take a day off if you can. Just allowing yourself to just kind of get back into the energy of being rather than doing, okay? And this could have something to do with wanting better connections in your life. We have the family card. So it could be wanting deeper connections with the people that mean the most to you. It could also mean, though, that you're looking for like a new soul tribe, people that are really in alignment with what you want for yourself, right? Whether that's, a supportive kind of a group, right? Maybe a spiritual community or a community that's based on a hobby that you have, people that have similar interests to you, right? Or it could be that you're seeking deeper connections. Yeah, I feel like there's something here about allowing yourself to recognize that what you're wanting are people around you that are super supportive, emotionally supportive of who you are and what you're trying to create for yourself. Okay, with the loyal heart, it's people that are on your side no matter what, right? And it doesn't mean that they're always going to tell you what you want to hear, right? But it's the energy of understanding that even when they say something that maybe you're not really interested, no, that kind of hurt your feelings, or you feel like they're being somewhat critical of you or something that you're doing, right? But there's also this tidbit of you that knows that they're saying that because they really do love you, not in a toxic way. There's a difference, right? Because if we have people around us that only tell us what we want to hear, then we're also have to recognize that they perhaps are not speaking from their own authentic self. This is the energy of wanting people that are authentic to themselves, but also authentic in your relationship with them. Wow. I feel like this is something that maybe you haven't ever experienced, or that you are wanting to experience again. It could be that maybe you haven't felt this way about the people in your life in a long time. You could feel, too, that the people around you are just highly critical because we have chaos and conflict, right? But understanding that whatever you're feeling right now in your relationships, it's helping you to better define what it is that you want, that you value in your relationships. Very interesting, because we have the judgment card coming out, right? Allowing yourself time. And once again, we have to the sea, right? This very watery energy. Listening to your emotions. Allowing yourself, you see, she's not going anywhere fast. She's just sitting in that bathtub. She's allowing herself to check back in with herself, with her heart. And I feel like this has something to do with perhaps you haven't had fun in a long time. Perhaps you feel like the people that are in your life are somewhat more of, I don't want to say a burden, but they want a lot from you. And you may feel like it's not reciprocal, right? With this loyal heart, it is understanding we've got each other's backs. You see how the owls have their backs to each other, and yet they're looking at each other. I have your back. I'm on your side. Even if I'm saying something that maybe you don't want to hear or something, I feel like instead of being critical, you understand, no, this is the way that they're perceiving it. Doesn't mean you have to agree with them, right? But it's allowing yourself to see a different perspective from somebody else's point of view. This is very destined. Yeah. Opening your heart, speaking your truth, allowing other people to speak their truth. There's something here about this is helping you to determine what direction you want to go in next, especially with who you're spending the most time with. There's something here where you're understanding. You either have people around you that are unsupportive and perhaps critical with the judgment card of who you are and what you're trying to do. Or you have people around you where you feel like they're only telling you what you want to hear, but you intuitively can sense. Have you ever had that kind of a conversation where you can tell somebody's not really telling you the truth, right? It's kind of like allowing yourself to recognize that you want to become more discerning of who you are spending your time around. And whatever is going on in your life, you're also understanding, right, that there needs to be a sense of joy and happiness in your connections also. That it can't be all work and no play. That you could be more committed to these relationships or a relationship than the other person is, right? You're carrying the burden. And they could be even having fun. They could be doing what it is that they want to do. And you feel like your life is on hold, or you're having to clean up after them. You're understanding that we don't have each other's backs in this. It's kind of like, yeah, here I am. I'm holding the burdens again, right? I'm holding the bag. And I feel like that's what this judgment card is allowing you to recognize that your soul is being called at this time to ask yourself, well, what is it that you want long-term for yourself? It's time to put your wishes at the top of your priority list. Allowing yourself to really and truly decide. The judgment card is decision time, right? You have also the fork in the road. It's decision time. It's allowing yourself to make a decision and then allowing yourself to recognize that you're making that decision based on what your heart truly desires, not out of a sense of obligation or to anyone else. You're doing it because it's what you want to do. And allowing yourself to make that decision and to own that decision. That's sometimes Aries the hard part, right? Like we can make a decision, then we communicate that decision to other people in our life, but then we have to own it, right? We have to allow ourselves to own it. Wow. This is something that has been coming a long time. Knight of Pentacles. Learning how to kind of like allow yourself to take your power back. There's your energy. Stepping into who you really and truly are. Because we have the judgment card again. Allowing yourself to recognize. I feel like this has been coming on a long time. Both of these are the number 7. Okay. So it could be since July. Okay, because July is the 7th month. It could be 7 months ago that you kind of like started going on this slow journey, okay? Plodding along, trying to do what you're supposed to do. That's the Knight of Pentacles. I'm putting time and energy into what I'm thinking I'm supposed to do. but all of a sudden you're recognizing, am I really and truly going towards what it is that I desire for myself, or am I doing this out of a sense of obligation to somebody else? Because the Emperor could be your energy. It could be also this energy of somebody else. I'm doing this, I want to say slow, monotonous, drudgery type of energy to keep the Emperor happy, right? And the Emperor could be your boss. It could be a spouse. It could be a father figure. It could be family members, right? I'm allowing myself to do the daily work of the Emperor. And it's kind of like you're coming to this judgment. It's kind of like, but when do I get to have fun? Maybe the Emperor is having a lot of fun, but you're not, right? Allowing yourself to recognize, am I on the right path? Because with the the fork in the road card and the judgment, it's kind of like allowing yourself to say, am I on the right path? Am I on the path that is going to take me to where my soul, my heart is calling me to go? Or am I just doing what the Emperor tells me I need to be doing? I feel like you're coming into a sense of what it is that you want for yourself long term. Coming to peace. Allowing yourself to take a look at the conditioned beliefs of perhaps family since childhood that has put you in this energy of feeling like I'm obligated. I have to do it for the money. I have to stay in this job and do this drudgery work for the Emperor because I need the money. Or I need to stay safe and secure in this relationship because I want financial stability. Or I want this sense of family, whatever that is. But it's kind of like allowing yourself to recognize that if that's the direction, you kind of have this fork in the road. If that's the direction, you're deciding at this time, do I want more of the same? Do I want to sign up for another round of doing the Emperor's work, okay? Working for the Emperor. Or do I want to allow myself to go in a different direction and redefine, right, what my Ten of Pentacles is? I feel like that's what you're being asked to do. What is your Ten of Pentacles? What is your sense of happy family, happy home, financial stability? How are you allowing yourself to redefine how that comes into play? How are you creating more fun and passion and pleasure in your life? Allowing yourself to recognize that you're at this crossroads and you are really and truly being called to see, how can I enjoy life more rather than just doing the drudgery work, just getting by. The Knight of Pentacles here is, I'm putting in the daily work, but I'm only getting by. Somebody else is making more money, whether that is an institution, a corporation, right? Somebody, an entrepreneur that you could be working for, a family member, a spouse. Like, I'm holding the bag. I'm carrying all of the luggage, right? And there, you know, it'd be like if you went to the hotel or a resort or something, and the Emperor is out by the pool sipping on some lovely cocktails or something, right? And you're the one that has to, you know, take all the suitcases to the room and unpack and get the room all just perfect for the Emperor, right? It's kind of like understanding how's that energy playing out in your life. Or how has it played out in your life previously? Because what you're recognizing is that what you really want is a companion in your life, a friend. You don't want this unbalanced energy where you're the knight and somebody else is the emperor, right? You want it to be balanced. We have a common goal here. You may have your goal, they may have a goal, right? But we also have a common goal. And that common goal is that we are supportive of each other's individual goals and dreams. Understanding this is what you're really wanting in life. And allowing yourself to say, wait a minute, I want a fresh start. I want a fresh definition, right, of close connections, of family, of understanding your boundaries, And understanding that healthy boundaries are not to protect us from other people, but healthy boundaries is the energy of being really grounded in who we are and what we want for ourselves. And getting up every single day, allowing ourselves to put time and energy into what is most important to us. If what's most important to you is that the people in your life are happy, right? Where is your happiness on that priority list? Your happiness is your happiness, your joy, your sense of peace is the most important to you. And allowing yourself to say, it's everybody else's job. It's the emperor's job to create happiness for himself. He may be happy because he has you carrying the luggage, right? Doing the hard work, doing the heavy lifting. Allowing yourself to recognize, no, wait a minute. It's not that you necessarily want to be the emperor, even though this is your energy, Aries, right? It's kind of like allowing yourself to recognize, I don't want to be the emperor and make somebody else carry the luggage. I don't want somebody else to be the emperor and I'm carrying the luggage. What I really and truly want is somebody that is helping me to carry the luggage. We're both carrying the luggage up. We're both unpacking and we're both enjoying time by the pool, right? It's that type of energy of stepping into, yeah, we're in this together, right? One of us isn't more important than the other. We're both important, perhaps in different ways, but we're both important. And the thing that's really important to both of us is the successful unconditional love for each other, the emotional support for each other, the cheering each other on. That's what you're seeking here. Wow, beautiful energy, Aries. Beautiful. All right, so let's pull a soul truth card for you for some final advice. And I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. So let's see what we have here. Does my life have room for more pleasure and play? If you're saying no, because I have all of these burdens I have to carry. I have to, take care of everybody in the family. I have to, take care of the house. I have to work full time. I have to get everybody to their soccer games or whatever it is, right? Allowing yourself to say, wait a minute, where am I in that priority list, right? It's about allowing yourself to recognize, where can I delegate some of the burdens, obligations that I have allowed myself to carry, right? Where can I delegate these? What conversations do I maybe need to have with some of the people in my life? Perhaps understanding what brought you to this. That could be from childhood, right? Maybe you were in a position where you took on more than your fair share of the work, okay? Allowing yourself to recognize what healthy boundaries you have to have with yourself, okay? And that means you need to know who you are, what's important to you, what direction you want to go in your life. And it's kind of like you're at a crossroads. I feel like you're having to make some difficult decisions at this time. But then once again, it's owning your decision, knowing that this is your decision. Nobody else has placed this decision upon you. You're taking your power back because you're allowing yourself to make the decision for the direction in your life. And you're allowing other people to take part in their own direction of their life, right? It's kind of like, okay, I'm not controlling anybody else. Nobody else is controlling me. We're all in this together. How can we work it together? It's not necessarily you're leaving a connection. Some of you might, but it's kind of like, how can we work this out? How can we all be supportive? Laying all the cards on the table. What is it you want out of life, Aries? What do the other people in your life want? And allowing yourself to have those conversations with the people that are in your life about how can we get this to work? Can we all do this together? Or is it time to allow yourselves to have some difficult conversations about going in different directions? Wow, powerful, Aries. I am actually recording this on the full moon in Taurus, right? So the energies are right now, especially with all the retrogrades in November. This energy of the full moon in Taurus, then we have a new moon in Scorpio. So allowing yourself to recognize something is bubbling up from underneath. Something is bubbling up, letting you know that it's time to make some decisions in your life, taking your power back, knowing who you are. Start with your core values, right? What's really important to you, and then allowing yourself to really honor your own self and your own core values, and honor what it is that you really and truly desire as you move forward. All right, I'm going to leave it there. I wish you so much love and light. Please be gentle and kind with yourself as you're moving through this energy. And I really appreciate all your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing. I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.